A happy game day wherever you're watching us from. It's a first for us here on FNN as we make the trip up to Marshall County to LF Coley Field here at Boaz High School in Boaz, Alabama. Our very first edition of girls high school flag football, a growingly popular sport in the state of Alabama, rolling in its fourth season as a varsity sport across the state of Alabama. And we have two of the top teams in Class 1A, 5A tonight here on FNN, as top-ranked Moody will take on number 3 Boaz, and it'll be for the Boaz Pirates, their home opener for the 2025 season. Once again, a happy game day wherever you're watching us from to get our busy week started here on FNN. James Hardy with you. And also, there you see Patrick Williams as well as Shasta Jones with us on the call today of Boaz and also Moody. As we take a look first at Boaz as they're playing their third home game of the season, or third game, I should say, of the season, as they had a couple of impressive road victories to get their 2025 season started. A 38-0 win at Hoover, and then a 20-7 win at Pell City last week. On Thursday, as this will be their first of 6 home games as part of the regular season. And then for Moody, they come in with a 4-1 record as they've played some of the best as far as from the Birmingham area. Vestavia Hills along with Hewitt-Trustville, their first 2 opponents, as they split a tri-match to open up the season on August the 26th at Vestavia Hills, and then also a game played at Vestavia Hills, a 26-19 loss to Hewitt-Trustville, and then the 38-26 win against Vestavia Hills. And coming in, Moody on a 3-game winning streak as they have been able to defeat Pell City, Oxford, and Gadsden City at home in successive fashion. They've been able to put the points on the board over the last 3 ball games as they've come close to the 50 mark in 2 of their past 3 games, a 47-13 win against Pell City, and then their most recent game on Thursday, a 49-18 win over Gadsden City. These 2 teams played in the third round at the 1A, 5A playoffs last season, the quarterfinal round, as Moody was able to take down Boaz 35-13. Moody eventually made their way to the state championship game last year before they fell to Montgomery Catholic for what would have been an opportunity to take home their first ever blue map. Moody, a lot of expectations coming in to tonight as far as what they want to be able to do this year, and had the chance to talk with Coach Ren Moore earlier this morning. And simply the expectation for her team is to take home a blue map. She feels her program, and specifically this team, in a really good place starting out as far as this 2025 season. And for Boaz, also got a chance to talk with Coach Will Penton earlier this afternoon. And he mentioned as far as just the strength of the team being its defense, as coming into today, their first 2 games, they have not allowed a touchdown. And so an opportunity for Boaz to show that they are, well, already a top 5 team, one of the top teams in the state, but a chance if they can come up with a win tonight to show that they are indeed potentially the top team in the state of Alabama. So for Boaz, in a lot of ways, this is a showcase game for them. And for us, a showcase game as far as us airing and televising flag football in our FNN coverage area, our very first flag football telecast for us here on FNN. Of course, after 14 seasons, now into season number 15 of televising the FNN High School football game of the week each and every Friday, with some Thursdays sprinkled in all throughout the season. For Boaz, they'll make the short trip down to Gadsden next week on Thursday, or check that later this week on Thursday, I should say, to take on Gadsden City, and then they'll be back here at home next week in 10 days on the 18th to begin a stretch of 3 out of the next 4 at home. So plenty of home games coming up for the Boaz Pirates. And again, an opportunity to show what they can do on a statewide stage against one of it, or if not, the top teams in the state of Alabama in Moody High School. Of course, as always, when it comes to our football coverage, we'll have Shasta's presentation as far as the information she gets on our featured players tonight, and also we'll go over as far as some of the rules breakdown when it comes to flag football in the AHSAA. Unlike the Friday night football that we air for high school flag football, they'll be playing on a field that's 40 yards wide and 80 yards deep. And the first down is not your typical first down and 10. The opening possession will begin on the 14-yard line. In fact, after every touchback and also after every score, and they'll put the football at the 14-yard line. The initial first down, it's at the 20, and then all zones are 20 yards out. And after every 20 yards is met, that's a first down. Let's bring in Shasta Jones for the first time to hear from her as far as tonight's big game between number 1 and number 3.
Thanks, James. This should be a really exciting game here tonight. And, I caught up with one of the Boaz Pirates girls this last week, Lexi Bennett. And Lexi has just had a journey to where she is able to even play flag football this year. She told me she had to relearn the game because last year she was on the team. She had hip surgery and was not able to play. So through the summer and even now, she just had to get back in the weight room, get all of her muscle put back on, and learn the game again. And I asked her how it was with the hip surgery affecting her playing. She said it hasn't, in all honesty. She doesn't really think about it. Lexi just goes out there and plays this because this is her last season. She tries to give it all, and if something happens, then it happens. She will know that it happens with her giving everything she had, and she would rather go out there and give it everything than play scared and timid. So this ought to be a really good game, and especially for the seniors tonight.
Thank you, Shasta, as we close in on the opening quarter of play between number 1 Moody and number 3 Boaz. Our game tonight brought to you by Chevrolet of Boaz and Capco Builders Incorporated. Let's take our first time out as we are just under 7 minutes away from beginning tonight's contest, the big one between two top 5 teams in Class 1A, 5A, Boaz and Moody.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
From the campus of Boaz High School at L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium, James Hardy with you along with our FNN crew as we're inching closer to game time here at Boaz High School. Let's take a look at the starters before we get to tonight's toss of the coin. As first, the offensive starters for Moody is Serenity Rutledge, Sarah Beth Gill, Abby Gray, Zoe Terry, Sophie White, Erin McElrath, Peyton Harry, and Kennedy Hockman will get the call as far as the Moody starters. They'll be in the white tops and bottoms, and then the garnet tops and bottoms for Boaz as we get set for the coin toss, and we'll send it down as far as our FNN crew. Shasta Jones will send it down to her to hear from our referee.
All right. So, congratulations on being chosen captains. That means we're going to look to y'all for sportsmanship and stuff, okay? There is one thing that I need y'all to do that I know is different from years past. When you score, I need y'all to pull your teammate's flag. Whoever scored, I need y'all to pull that flag, okay? All right? Any questions about anything before we get to this coin flip? All right, you're doing my talking, right? Okay, so this is heads. This is tails. Call it in the air, okay? It is tails. What y'all want to do?
Defer to the second half.
All right. So which side we defending?
This one.
Okay. All right. So all right. Go ahead. Line up. Line up. Line up.
So there you take a look at the toss of the coin as Boaz wins the toss as they will defer their option until the beginning of the second half. We appreciate you for joining us here on this Monday evening, a beautiful Monday evening from Northeast Alabama. Our first ever edition of high school girls flag football here on FNN. Let's go and give you some weather conditions on this spectacular Monday evening. 78 degrees under mostly clear skies. Humidity just at 52%. We've got a gentle east-northeast breeze at 6 miles per hour. So it should be a very comfortable evening for some flag football here at Boaz High School. Don't forget, we'll have our next edition of the FNN Coaches Show tomorrow night in about 24 hours at 7 o'clock from Top of the River in Anniston. And then that'll lead us into the big Friday night game this week over at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium between Anniston and Alexandria. And there you see at least who we got to see last week as part of the FNN Coaches Show. As the first quarter about to begin, as Moody will go on offense first. We'll take a look here at the starters for Boaz defensively in just a second. As all of the players that are out on the field offensively are eligible receivers. And opening possession begins at the 14-yard line. So the line to reach for the first down in this case is at the 20. From there on out, it'll be the next zone 20 yards away. There's the throw to the far side. That's caught. As the grab of the flag made just shy of the 20-yard line. As the reception made by Sophie White, as Serenity Rutledge will get the call at quarterback. She's one of the primary quarterbacks for the Blue Devils this season. 12-minute quarters tonight for two of the best teams in the state of Alabama. Rutledge, a short dump down, and that's caught, and that's going to move the sticks across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Remember, just an 80-yard field. So now with the first down, the line to reach will be all the way at midfield at the 40-yard line. So Rutledge already off to a good start with a couple of completions. A little pressure now goes down the field, and great hands at the 30 as heading for the end zone and able to get a big score is Zoe Terry for a touchdown. I'll take a big play that time as the touchdown connection from Rutledge to Terry, as Rutledge perfect on her first 3 attempts, as that'll get Moody on the board first. So now an opportunity either to go for 1 from the 3-yard line, or they can go for 2 from the 10-yard line after the touchdown. Or will they say, might have said the tackle was made, so. So they're going for 2 from the 10 as there's the push pass, and that's intercepted. Able to take it away is Peyton Hall, as there would be no run back after a 2-point conversion. So Moody on the board first as they take a 6-0 lead here on our first girls flag football game here on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Back underway for Boaz's first possession as you take a look at the quarterback for Boaz in Peyton Hall. As a first down, their first down on their second play of their first possession. As that loss will go back inside the 20. So the ball at the 17-yard line as we are at 9:40 to go in the opening quarter. 12-minute quarters here at Boaz High School as Moody strikes first, needed just 3 plays to get on the board. As Hall looking for a little operating room, and she'll get taken down in the backfield as the grab the flag blows the play dead. And a very nice defensive stop that time by Zoe Terry, who caught the touchdown on Moody's first possession. So midfield, the line to reach for the first down. We'll take a look at the rest of the Boaz starters here as soon as we can. 3rd and long as Hall under pressure. Rolls and now wants to go downfield. Has a receiver behind the defense, and that's incomplete. So that went in and out of the hands of Raina Underwood, the starting wide receiver, a 5'7" sophomore. Boaz just 1 senior on their roster this year. So very much an underclassman-heavy roster. As we'll have a 4th down coming up. And looks as if it's going to be kicking time. There's a line drive side-winding punt fielded at about the 34-yard line. Is able to make the turn around the corner as Cheyenne, or check that, Serenity Rutledge has the grab made by Braylon Burke. We'll take a look defensively for Boaz as Peyton Hall at linebacker. Arlie Kate Mitchell, another linebacker. And then you have defensive backs of Braylon Burke, Raina Underwood, and Addison Bolin. Free safety, Lexi Bennett, and another defensive back in Jaylee Camper. Also, Piper Hales will be a rusher as part of that Boaz defense. Boaz in business with just under 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 7:55 to go first quarter. Second possession for Moody as the quick snap and turning around the corner and able to get some running room. And into Boaz territory is Sophie White. So Moody clicking on all cylinders so far as they're able to get a good gain on first down. They need to get to the Boaz 20 White for a fresh set of downs. Clock basically for flag football like what the college football rule is now. Very limited stops, although that's one of the few opportunities during the game that you'll see the clock stop. And that was a early movement along the front line for the Boaz defense. Pretty much the college clock and the pro clock for a long time now. I said, unless there's an incompletion and the ball goes out of bounds, that clock is pretty much on the move. And then, of course, when you get to the final 2 minutes of the half, then you'll have an opportunity as far as more the clock stopping as Rutledge goes downfield, but good coverage in the defensive backfield as that goes incomplete with solid coverage by Raina Underwood for Boaz. Chevrolet of Boaz, as well as Cabco Builders, a big thanks to them for presenting tonight's big matchup. Now the clock continues to move as we approach 6.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. So third down. They just need to get across the 20. Rush comes as Rutledge in trouble trying to escape pressure. And I think she was stopped just a little bit shy of the first down. Did get some positive yardage, however. And so a fourth down and short coming up for the Blue Devils. We mentioned as far at the top of the telecast, Moody's schedule coming into today, and that's something by design for Coach Ren Moore as far as wanting her team to play some of the best competition in the state. And, of course, when you're in the Birmingham area, there's always a good chance for that, to test your team early in the season. Fourth down, on the roll. Rutledge needs the 20 and able to turn the corner and get the first down. Or check that. Sophie White at quarterback has also coached. The Blue Devils head coach in Ren Moore described as far to me earlier today that she does use two quarterbacks as far as her offense each and every week. As that time, Sophie Moore able to just turn the corner and keep the offense on the field. The touchdown pylon about where the regular 10-yard line is on the football field. Here's a quick throw and a hook and ladder as the ball at least goes to the ground, and that will blow the play dead back about the 15-yard line. So Moody looked as if they had a little something up their sleeve that time, but not able to fully execute that. And so the completion and then the dropped lateral will put the football at the 15-yard line. It is a goal-to-go situation. 4.5 minutes, or 4:35 rather, to go in the opening quarter. White, quick dump down over the middle. That play has worked a few times so far today. As the catch made from Sophie White, as Peyton Harry, the sophomore, her first catch of the ball game. As they'll spot the football at about the 10-yard line. So third down coming up. Big opportunity for the Boaz defense to try and keep Moody off the board. White gets the snap, looks toward the end zone, still looks, and now tosses, and tight coverage along the near sideline as good hands that time defensively by Lexi Bennett to knock the pass away. One of the best defensive plays in the secondary we've seen early on for Boaz, as it'll be a fourth down coming up. Of course, that clock on the move now at 3.5 minutes to go in the quarters. There you see our proud sponsors for tonight. A big thanks to all of our sponsors, including Chevy of Boaz, as well as Cabco Builders. Fourth down. White needs to go to the end zone as the throw toward the end zone is knocked away and incomplete. Nice play that time by Braylon Burke in the defensive backfield as she was able to swat away that pass in the corner of the end zone. As there you see a good positioning by Burke as Moody not able to score as Boaz gets the stop that they need as they'll take over first down and 10. from their own 10-yard line. James Hardy and our FNN crew with you. Is on the roll. And good feet that time by Peyton Hall as she's able to get some positive yards. So Hockman on the tackle. Kennedy Hockman, a junior. About 5 seniors on the Moody roster this season. Clock just over 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. So a second down coming up. Peyton White already has a couple of collegiate offers ahead of her. As White rolls under pressure and dumps it down, and that is almost intercepted, incomplete. Intended receiver was Carpenter. And so it'll be third down coming up. So a chance as we'll take a look at that last incomplete pass as Jaylee Carpenter was draped upon by a couple of Blue Devils defenders. So third down. Under pressure, White throws it up and gets the completion. As it'll move the football across the 20 to the 21-yard line as Addison Bolin makes her first catch, and that's the first Boaz first down of the day. Clock on the move toward 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'll hear more about our players here, we'll say beginning the second quarter. So we'll hear from Shasta Jones here pretty shortly as Hall gets the rolling snap. Wants a little protection, directing traffic, and now throws to the far side, and that's complete at the 25-yard line. Arlie Kate Mitchell, the sophomore wide receiver, and also getting the start at running back. And it'll now be a second down situation coming up. They need midfield as they're now as far as trying to get to the next zone for Boaz to keep the sticks moving. Hall, quick toss over the middle, and that's complete. So just shy of the 30-yard line. Serenity Rutledge on the tackle. So they need about 11 yards or so. A full zone is 20 yards, the equivalent of a 1st and 10 on a Friday night football game. Under a minute to go, opening quarter. Big thanks for all of you here on FNN for joining us tonight. So Hall deep in the backfield in the shotgun. Rolls and tosses and gets the completion as reeling in the catch is Mitchell. And she's still about 4 to 5 yards shy of the first down as they'll spot the football at the Boaz 35-yard line. Certainly manageable distance as far as Boaz trying to get that first down. Let's see if they'll just decide what they want to do to begin this second quarter. Will Penton in his second season with Boaz. In fact, this is the second season for the Pirates flag football program, as they were able to win 8 games in their debut season last year. As we'll wind down the opening quarter here in Boaz, and top-ranked Moody with the first score in their first possession. They take a 6-0 lead into the second quarter as you're watching two of the top teams in the state of Alabama in flag football here on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
4th down and 5 as the first quarter in the books as they flip ends of the field, but a short walk as far as the Boaz offense as they need midfield to keep the offense on the field. We'll hear more from Shasta as far as Peyton Hall following this big 4th down play. Hall winds, and she wants to try and get to midfield, and I think she might have been taken down shy of midfield. Depends on the spot. Needed the midfield marker, and they may give Hall a good spot and indeed a Boaz first down. So let's send it down to Shasta Jones for the first time in this ball game, and we'll hear more from the Boaz quarterback.
I caught up with Peyton this last week. She said she's tried to keep an open mind over the summer as she has had to step into a position that she wasn't really comfortable playing. She has had to work hard mentally to get through it and to come out stronger. She was always in the weight room working on sprints and agility. She's on the track a lot, loves to work out. She wants to see her team make a deep run into the playoffs. She thinks they are more than capable of doing that, and she is really excited to see how far they go. Send it back to you, James.
Hall goes deep, has a receiver behind the defense, but overthrown, intended for Lexi Bennett. Already a Serenity Rutledge touchdown to Zoe Terry today. As that was a 66-yard scoring throw to get the game started on Moody's 3rd play from scrimmage. So the clock at about 10.5 minutes to go in the opening half. Very excited to see two of the best teams in the state of Alabama go at it. This is Class 1A, 5A action. 2 primary classifications as far as flag football in the state. As the toss over the middle, and Hall gets the completion, or no, they do say it is complete. Just shy of the 30-yard line. So 3rd down and about 11 yards to go. So line to reach will be the 20 to reach that next zone and put Boaz in potential position to tie up this ball game. So 3rd down. Hall under pressure. A couple of defenders, and good stop that time in the backfield by Zoe Terry. Terry, an aggressive rush coming toward Hall. And one of the best defensive plays we've seen tonight so far from Moody, as it'll set up a 4th down. Just the 3rd game this season for Boaz. As also, by the way, that score by Moody, the first time that the Boaz defense had given up a touchdown in the early part of their season. Punting time. And the short kick that'll be fielded inside at least the 15-yard line. And so Moody gets the football, 1st down and 10 with 9 minutes exactly to go in the first half, as the clock, at least momentarily, will come to a stop after the kick, the changeover possessions. No penalties so far for either team. You really don't see that many penalties as far as the flag football teams. Only other than your offside and at least your false starts, as there's a timeout on the field. And we'll go ahead and take this quick timeout with them, as it's still Moody 6 and Boaz nothing here in the 2nd quarter.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal, because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
2nd quarter, 9 minutes to go in the opening half, as there you see top-ranked Moody with a 6-0 advantage over number 3 Boaz, and the type of game, at least early on, that Boaz wants as far as a low-scoring game. But Moody was able to strike quick on their first possession. They needed just 3 plays to go, at least those 66 yards. Remember, an 80-yard field for flag football, as they start at least after every score and every touchback at the 14-yard line. So they'll spot the football at the 21-yard line. They need to reach midfield for the first down. Does Moody. Moody stopped at least inside the Boaz 15-yard line their last time out offensively. Here's on the roll, and good pursuit that time defensively by Boaz as the stop made by Piper's Hales. So Piper Hales on the stop as you take a look at one of the first down runs from an outstanding quarterback in Peyton Hall. But a good defensive play by Hales to get what would be a TFL on a Friday night. There's the throw, and that is almost intercepted. Kennedy Hockman on the throw that time. As that was slapped away, might have been Hales again. That nearly came up with the pick, what could have been a pick six. Clock on the move. 8:10 to go until halftime. We do have 5-minute halftimes, and of course we'll hear from our coaches before and after the second, and then prior to the start of the third quarter. As here's the dump down, and that's caught, but well shy of the first down as Peyton Harry on her second reception. And that's going to set up a fourth down in what you would probably think would be the first kicking opportunity, at least punting opportunity for Moody tonight. So Moody setting up for the punt. Hockman to punt. We'll have a trio of returners, including Peyton Hall for Boaz. As a short kick reeled in by Bennett, as she'll have the flag removed just across midfield. So a defensive ball game so far. As let's see where they spot the football, just across the 40 at the Moody 38-yard line, we'll call it. So clock stops with 7:16 to go until halftime. Only scores so far: a Serenity Rutledge 56-yard connection, I beg your pardon, to Zoe Terry. Boaz's defense has begun to get some rhythm so far. They've gotten stops their last two times on D as Hall, under some pressure, feeling it, rolls and escapes the trouble as she'll get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll spot the football at the line of scrimmage, and that was great pursuit as she'll take a missed tackle. At least that first time, looked like Rutledge was able to get the flag grab on, at least when Hall was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So actually, Boaz fortunate that they didn't lose yards that time. Jaylee Carpenter, the snapper, as Hall on an option play, and she gets the flag ripped almost at the line of scrimmage. Very nicely done that time by Ellie Kate Williams, the junior. Williams got in position and was able to make a clean grab of the flag. 6:17 to go until halftime. Here's the throw, and that's caught just beyond the 35-yard line. As Carpenter on the grab. As a fourth down coming up. Now the line to reach would be the 20 for a first down. So it looks as if Boaz wants to play the field position game and pin Moody deep. Ball drops inside the 20, and that'll be touched out of bounds around the 10-yard line or so. 5:41 to go in the first half, as we'll have Moody come out for their fourth offensive opportunity. And we saw Serenity Rutledge get a Moody on the board, so let's send it down to our Shasta Jones to hear more about the sophomore quarterback for Moody.
Serenity told me this week that she starts at quarterback, but she would rather play wide receiver. She has seen some improvement this past summer, and since this season started, in her footwork, her mindset, and accuracy. She wants to eventually go to college in a couple of years and play at the next level for basketball, but in her immediate sights, the Blue Devils made it to the state last year but fell short of taking the win, so the end goal for her team this season is to get back there and win a blue map.
Pass incomplete. Intended for
Thank you very much, Shasta. Serenity Rutledge, an outstanding athlete, a quarterback, and also a wide receiver, as we've seen 3 players so far at quarterback this evening for Moody. And looks as if Rutledge back at quarterback. As her first pass incomplete. Second down as Rutledge. She wants to keep it herself. As she'll go across the 20-yard line. And it gets at least a flag grab around the 29, maybe the 30-yard line. So it'll be a third down and very manageable coming up. Or check that, they will say a first down as they needed the 20 initially, as there's the run by Rutledge for a fresh set of downs. So now the line to reach will be midfield. Under 5 minutes to go until halftime. You'll have a few more opportunities to stop the clock once we get to the 2-minute mark, and also, of course, the 2-minute timeout. Rutledge awaits the snap. Looking for a short receiver and gets one at the 35-yard line, as that was a good decision that time to find her favorite receiver in Zoe Terry. Terry, the senior, as the gain advances the football to the 38-yard line. Second and short coming up. Approaching 4 minutes left in the opening half. Don't forget our FNN Coaches Show tomorrow. I imagine we'll have a few things to say about this telecast tonight. An outstanding matchup, one of the top matchups in the state this season in Class 1A, 5A. Also the other classification for flag football, Class 6A, 7A. Second and short. Around the corner goes Sophie White as she needed midfield. And let's see, I think Justin Bowen down along the field, one of the assistants, says that might have been short of the first down, but it looks as if our head referee says indeed that it is just a little bit shy of the first down. So they'll spot the football literally about a nose of the football away from midfield. Or a nose of the football away from the 49. So third and about a yard. Here's quick snap as White looking for someone downfield. Now wants to tuck and run. And I believe I thought she got the first down. Let's see where they're going to spot this. Peyton Hall with a nice tackle, or at least a flag grab, as they'll say no gain on the play. So interesting decision coming up for Moody. Fourth down and a yard to go. 2:37 left until we get to halftime. Our first ever flag football telecast here on FNN. Fourth down and 1. White, quick dump down, complete. And solid decision that time. That play has worked just about every time that Moody has gotten to it. Just an immediate little pop pass to Peyton Harry as she makes her third grab. She's had a productive first half so far as the chains move for Moody on the first down. As we come up on the final 2 minutes of the opening half. And the clock will stop there as the officials stop play as we come at least to the 2-minute timeout as the clock went down to 1:58. So there we go. There's the clock stoppage at 2 minutes. So now basically your 2-minute warning, your 2-minute timeout, as it also referred to at the college level. Here's White under pressure, and now she tosses, has a receiver complete. As getting around the 20-yard line, check that, Rutledge to White on the reception. And that's a first down. So the flagpole made at the 19-yard line. As now the clock will stop with White going out of bounds. So Moody with a methodical drive here as they were able to convert on 4th down. And now the Blue Devils in position to potentially make this a 2-score lead. So now the clock back on the move as there's the ball set at the 19-yard line. A goal-to-go situation. Rutledge. There's the toss over, and that's complete about the 15-yard line as Zoe Terry also her 3rd catch of the evening. So 2nd down and goal to go. So you're in that goal to go zone now for the Moody offense as Boaz, they've gotten a defensive stop on Moody's 2nd offensive possession with a goal to go scenario. So you have Rutledge at quarterback. Serenity Rutledge with the touchdown pass as she wants to keep it and run. Escapes a couple of tacklers, goes toward the end zone, and she is in for the touchdown. Serenity Rutledge with the 15-yard touchdown run as that gets Moody on top 12-0. As we'll take a look at those moves from Rutledge as she was able to just escape at least the flag pull of Peyton Hall. And so that gets Moody on top by 2 scores. As they'll have an opportunity now to add to that with a conversion try from the 3.
Moody is going for 1.
So Moody will go for the 1-point conversion. So snap goes to Rutledge as she'll toss, and good hands that time on the part of Abby Gray. And not sure she got into the end zone, as there's a question as whether that's a score or not, and looks as if that the conversion try is no good. 50 seconds to go until halftime. It is Moody 12 and Boaz nothing here on FNN.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
50 seconds to go until halftime here at Boaz High School. L.F. Corley Jr. Field as White rolls around, and she'll have the flag pulled just shy of the 20-yard line. As the clock on the move, under 40 seconds to go until halftime, and there will need to be some adjustments made offensively for Boaz. At least one, try and get some field position, and 2, try and figure out a way to make some plays against the Moody defense. Solid first half on the road by Moody as they've been able to get 2 scores against a salty Pirates defense. What could be the final play of the opening half. As here's White off the handoff as she wants to throw down the field, and that's going to be intercepted by Abby Gray. So Gray able to reel it in across midfield about the 34-yard line as that'll end the first half. As we'll take another look at Gray's INT to close out the first half. We'll hear in just a little bit as far as the thoughts from Moody head coach Ren Moore at halftime, as Shasta Jones getting in position to hear from the Blue Devils head coach. Or maybe actually the head coach for Southside. In fact, let's go ahead and send it down to the field for Shasta Jones and Boaz head coach Will Penton.
Coach Penton, I mean, this first half, Peyton Hall started out with an interception on Moody's point after. Braylon Burt blocked a pass. But you haven't been able to put the points on the board. What do you need to see happen this second half?
Yeah, we got Moody's really good on defense. They're very sound. Things that we try to scheme up, their girls are very good at staying at home. So we got to do a better job being more consistent on offense, trying to find some stuff that can work against their defense,
And your girls on defense, what do they actually need to do to put the block on this pass with Rutledge?
Yes, I mean Serenity's just a great athlete. If you drop back and play too many in coverage, she can run, or if you try to rush her, it's just tough to prep for that. But I mean, first drive of the game, we give up a long touchdown, and we talked all week about not letting anybody behind us. So it's just about being disciplined, and we got to make a play on the ball when it's in the air.
Okay, well, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
We're going to send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Shasta. As you heard from Coach Penton, as the Boaz Pirates need to make some adjustments at halftime. We're at halftime. A quick halftime as far as flag football is concerned, so let's go ahead and pay some bills as Moody on top 12-0 on the road to the top-ranked team in 1A and 5A here on FNN.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
And halftime from the campus of Boaz High School. That's our first ever flag football telecast here on FNN from L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium on the campus of Boaz High School. And so far, it's been the Moody Blue Devils that have had the upper hand ever since the third play of the ball game. They've led wire to wire through the first 24 minutes of play with a 12-0 advantage. James Hardy along with our FNN crew. Moody comes in at 4-1 on the season, as they're certainly on their way halfway to making that 5-1 on the season, what would be a 4-game winning streak. Already Serenity Rutledge with 2 touchdowns, one a 64-yard touchdown hookup to her favorite target in Zoe Terry, and then able to score from 15 yards out on the ground on Moody's final drive of the second quarter. Boaz really has never genuinely been able to get a scoring threat offensively, as they have a lot of work to do as far as trying to, even at home, to come back against the top-ranked Moody Blue Devils. As we look as far as we heard from at least Coach Penton earlier, some of his keys to victory in talking to him earlier today. Limit the explosive plays, which Moody has been able to get their fair share. They haven't really created any turnovers. Offense, not so far in that great a position. And then that has led to Moody really having the better end of the field position battle so far in that first half. And at least with the way that Boaz, at least they're centered around their defense, obviously they're going to have to create some field position and get some scores. And their first drive offensively of this second half in the third quarter is going to be very, very big for them as relative to trying to find a way to claw back in this contest. There you see some of our outstanding sponsors. The 19th hole indoor golf simulators here in Boaz, along with weddings, pageants, and proms. And our title sponsors, Chevy of Boaz and Capco Builders, Inc., where quality comes first. Also a big thanks to People's Independent Bank, as well as Southeast South Pole and 3C Transportation and Rentals LLC. A big thanks to all of our sponsors on FNN tonight for helping to make our first ever flag football special get off the ground. Moody still in their halftime huddle over to our left. A beautiful evening here in Boaz. A comfortable evening, kind of getting that preview of fall tonight. Started off with a game time temperature at 78 degrees as we're in the twilight hours. Lights not quite on yet at L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium. Now, Boaz decided to decline their option when they won the coin toss and deferred it until the start of the second half. So Boaz should be getting the football. Let's go ahead and send it down to Shasta Jones to hear from the Moody head coach.
Coach Moore, your team explosive on offense this whole first half. You got Rutledge throwing to Terry for opening drive touchdown, Rutledge 15-yard touchdown run, Gray interception right before the half. What else do you want to see happen this second half to take home a W tonight?
Start sooner on offense, get up the field.
Anything else your team needs to improve on?
No, just the long ball, to be honest.
All right, well, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks. Send it back to you.
Thank you, Shasta, and thank you, Coach Moore, as Moody gets ready to go on defense to begin this second half. A fresh 12 minutes on the clock to begin the third quarter. Don't forget our FNN Coaches Show tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Jim Jacobs, yours truly, Joe Medley and company from atop the river in Anniston. We'll have another FNN Player of the Week to award, courtesy of our friends from Talladega Short Track tomorrow. There's the dump down from Hall, and that's complete as Arlie Kate Mitchell on the reception. So the football stopped, or at least the line of scrimmage, at the 15-yard line. They need 5 yards to go to get the first down. Boaz just needs to get a good drive going here to get some momentum as they're down 2 scores. Here's an option look, and well defended initially as that pass is knocked away, incomplete. Knocked away by Kennedy Hockman as Moody had that little option play diagnosed very, very well. Nothing doing as far as either the keeper or the pitch, and then also the pass defended very well by the Blue Devils. Hockman knocked it away, third down. Boaz needs just their own 20. Hall on the completion, and once again, that's Mitchell, as that will move the sticks for a Boaz first down. That's only, I think, the second or third first down so far on the night for Boaz. So Boaz trying to get some sort of momentum going offensively. They need now midfield for the first down at the 40. As there's the quick pass, and that's slapped away and incomplete. Serenity Rutledge on the pass deflection. And you look at the typical starters, at least that Coach Renmore for Moody has for her defense. As we'll take a look at those to begin this second half. Serenity Rutledge, Abby Gray, Zoe Terry, Sophie White, Kennedy Hockman, Ellie Kate Williams, Kinley Harvard, and Cheyenne Moore. There's a quick throw, and that almost intercepted and could have gone to the house for Serenity Rutledge. So that'll be a pass deflection as we go under 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. So Boaz needs to get to midfield to move the sticks. A tough night passing-wise so far for Peyton Hall as she'll get the snap. Rolls and wants to throw down the field, and that's incomplete. Tight coverage that time by Sophie White as Raina Underwood, the intended receiver. And I imagine it'll be kicking time for Boaz. So 9:13 and counting here in the third quarter. We'll be down at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium for our next game on Friday night. 6:30 for our countdown to kickoff as there's the punt. As it's fielded just shy of the 35-yard line, and Moody's going to get some great field position as the flag pull made by Arlie Kate Mitchell. So Moody takes over from the Boaz 37-yard line, and with the moving clock and a 2-score lead for Moody, Boaz needs to get a stop defensively. That's not what the Pirates wanted it offensively, as they were only able to get 1 first down and had to kick the football. Quick throw, and that is intercepted by Peyton Hall. Hall had the flag pulled against her while she was on the move across midfield, and that is a huge, huge defensive play. As you take a look at Hall's interception, and the flag pull takes place across midfield at about, they'll spot the football at the 28-yard line, we'll call it. At the 28-yard line, that is a big-time play by Peyton Hall defensively. So the clock stops for the change of possession as we're at the 8:16 mark to go in the third quarter. Now Boaz has a momentum changer off the interception as Hall will toss and gets a completion as the flagpole immediately at the 25-yard line. Has a short gain that time. Underwood on the reception. A gain of just 3 as the line to reach is the 20 for the first down. Of course, you have your typical 4 downs to get your first down. And now the next zone to reach would be the 20. Here's Hall on the roll and tosses and gets the completion, and that should be good enough for a Pirates first down. So Mitchell on the reception. As I think we see kind of the strategy now that Boaz wants to use offensively. Try to utilize the short pass to counteract the Moody pressure. Under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hall with the pressure coming. Tosses, and that's complete inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Lexi Bennett on the reception as the flagpoles have been very solid so far for the Moody defense. They haven't missed, or at least what we would consider on a conventional football game, a tackle, or at least in our case tonight, a flagpole. Second down and goal. On the roll, Hall, out route complete as the advancement that time by Braylon Burke as she's able to advance the football inside the 15-yard line and, in fact, inside the 10 to about the 8. As you'll take a look, a good play design that time. Roll out the quarterback Hall and then toss to Burke on the out route as we'll have a timeout on the field. And we'll go ahead and take the timeout with them. Boaz on the move as Moody still on top by 2 scores here on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
6:46 to go in the third quarter as Boaz an opportunity to get on the board for the first time as Peyton Hall came up with a critical interception on Moody's first offensive possession here in the third quarter. As there you take a look at Moody in their huddle. What is a critical possession to try and cut a 12-point deficit in half. James Hardy and our FNN crew with you as Coach Will Penton encourages his troops. As Boaz has a third down and goal. Ball just inside the 10. As Hall under pressure and just has to get rid of it. Incomplete. Looks like the Coach Penton wants a unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, but none is called. As it'll be now fourth down and goal. That was good pressure off the edge from Moody. It's now Hall and the Pirates of Boaz need the end zone for the touchdown on fourth down. Hall rolls, tosses, and that's intercepted by Serenity Rutledge. Rutledge able to keep possession as she'll be at least flag pulled at the 15-yard line. And so Boaz, an opportunity you see to potentially get on the board, but Serenity Rutledge able to take advantage of the errant pass, and also thanks in part to outstanding pressure along the front line for Moody. And the clock stops with the change of possession at 6:01 to go in the third quarter. A good stop for Moody as they were able to preserve a 12-0 advantage. So they'll have a first down and 10. Moody 4-1 on the season. Game number 6 for them in the regular season. And for Boaz, just their third regular season game and their first home game of the regular season. A quick snap and trying to race to the far side was Sophie White, but it appeared that the defense for Boaz more than ready for it as the tackle, or the flag pull rather, made by Arlie Kate Mitchell. Second down, a minimal gain of about 1. That was one of the better defensive plays also we've seen, especially on some of Moody's athletes from the Boaz defense. Mitchell had gotten in position that time and was able to make a fairly routine flag pull. Here's the counter. As also a good flag pull on the part of Lexi Bennett, it appears, as White faked the give and tried to go on the counter off the left side as she's able to get close to the 20. So it'll be third, and we'll call it a yard. There you see Chevy of Boaz, Capco Builders, and our family of sponsors for tonight's telecast. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. It's still Moody on top by a dozen. Third and short. And a little pass complete over the middle to Harry. And she's able to keep the possession alive. And a fresh set of downs coming up for Moody. So Moody's been able to get the first downs that they've needed. They have gotten a big play in the passing game. Third play from scrimmage in the first quarter, Serenity Rutledge found Zoe Terry behind the Boaz defense for the first score of the night. And then right before the half, it was Serenity Rutledge racing in from 15 yards out. First down. White at quarterback. Good throw on the run, and that's a completion shy of the 35-yard line. Moody and the white tops and bottoms, as that was a good reception that time by Abby Gray. Not the easiest of throws to make that throw on the move from Sophie White, but picture perfect on the accuracy. Under 4 to go, third quarter. We'll have another player spotlight for Moody coming up here shortly, as we'll first see this second down play. On the roll, flushed from the pocket, and now the jump pass, and that is knocked away. Incomplete. Sophie Rutledge showing a little athleticism, but Peyton Manders able to slap it away. Third down coming up. In a little bit, we'll hear about Kennedy Hockman from our own Shasta Jones, but we'll see how this third down situation transpires as we go under the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. A big-time play coming up potentially for the Boaz defense as they're trying to get off the field. Third down and 6 as we'll have a flag on the play. And it's a delay of game. In fact, let's go ahead and send it down to our own Shasta Jones to hear more about Moody's Kennedy Hockman.
When I spoke with Kennedy this week, she told me she's a multi-sport athlete who also plays basketball and softball and has played flag football for 2 years. She has been working on improving her footwork and hand-eye coordination. She wants the younger players on her team to learn communication, teamwork, and to bond outside of the field, not just on the field, keeping drama outside of when you get to the field, keeping their language clean, keeping their grades up in school. She wants to be a good example so they know what the standard is at Moody High School. And even though it's another year away, Kennedy wants to play softball in college, major in sports management, and be either a sports broadcaster or in journalism and just stay around the world of sports. So I better look out. She may be after my job. Sending back to you, James.
Thank you, Shasta. Kennedy Hockman, almost do everything type of player for Coach Ren Moore, quarterback, receiver, as well as corner on defense. There's a timeout down on the field. We'll take the timeout with them with 2:21 to go, third quarter, and Moody on top by 12.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Third down coming up as the delay of game penalty pushes the football back across the 30 at the 29-yard line. Reverse coming up as Rutledge throws, and that's almost intercepted. Well diagnosed by Boaz as Peyton Hall nearly came up with her second pick. And I think Hall would love to have that one back. If she had reeled that in, she would still be off to the races. After one first down, Moody will have to kick it away. So Hockman set to punt. We just heard from Shasta Jones about Hockman as the bobble, but the catch reeled in at about the 25-yard line. As Peyton Hall able to make the reception on the punt and advance the football across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So respectable field position for the Boaz Pirates as they're in their garnet tops and bottoms, and then the white tops and bottoms for Moody as the lights are now on here at L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium. 1:41 to go as the clock stops for the change of possession. That's about the only time that you'll see the clock stop in what will be the first 22 minutes of a half. Now, this is almost coming to a must-score possession for Boaz as Hall, under pressure, tosses, and that is nearly intercepted. A great read that time on the part of the Moody linebacker. Looked like Rutledge, I believe. And yes, Serenity Rutledge that time, able to read the pass and knock it away. Second down. Hall wants to go deep, has a receiver, and that's caught into Moody territory. The reception by Lexi Bennett, and that is the longest play we've seen from Boaz tonight. Here you see the wind and throw down the field, and a job well done by Boaz as Hall connects with Bennett for the first down. Inside the 25 at the 24. They need the 20 for the first down. Here's Hall, winds, and before she could throw, she had the flag pull. And so good pressure on the part of Moody as they're able to sack Peyton Hall. So we take Kenley Harvard, the senior, on the sack. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter as they'll move the football across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Hall under pressure, quick throw, that's complete. As on the reception is Arlie Kate Mitchell. Mitchell, the favorite target so far for Hall. 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and let's see if Boaz gets another snap off, or I think they'll just be content to take the next snap at the start of the fourth quarter. We're through 3 quarters of play as Moody playing well so far. So far pitched the shutout through 3 quarters as we'll take the timeout. Fourth quarter coming up, and a big third down for Boaz on the other side of this timeout on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school. with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Oh, there's a familiar face for us as far as our FNN family, usually roaming the sidelines with one of our cameras on a Friday night. Alonzo Kirby, also a part-time official as far as the AHSAA. Yeah, Alonzo, you're getting a little FaceTime tonight as far as on the receiving end of our FNN cameras tonight. A job well done by our man Alonzo Kirby as well as our AHSAA officiating crew. 3 officials tonight. So you basically have a back judge, a referee, and an umpire. And they've done a good job so far tonight, at least keeping the flow of play going. A clean ball game so far, not just a couple of penalties or so. Boaz, I think, hasn't committed a penalty yet. But here's a big third down. Hall rolls, and now tosses, and that's incomplete. Swatted away. Good defensive play by Serenity Rutledge. There's now another pressure-packed 4th down situation for Boaz. The Pirates need the 20-yard line. Football at the 29, so a 4th and 9. Boaz trying to get to that goal-to-go zone. Hall with the pressure coming. Tosses down into traffic, and that's incomplete. And the pressure has just affected Peyton Hall all night so far as that falls harmlessly to the ground. And so a turnover on downs as the clock stops at 11:19 to go in the football game. A great defensive game plan on the part of Coach Ren Moore as they've been able to bottle up the Boaz offense, including Peyton Hall, for pretty much the entire night. Football from now their own 29 for Moody. A touchdown can just about put this game away. Rutledge on the drop, and a strong toss and into traffic. Speaking of, that also goes in and out of the hands of the linebacker in Peyton Hall. And don't forget, coming out in just a few weeks at the beginning of October, our annual FNN High School Football, the magazine. And there you see a lot of star-studded athletes, including Jalen Taylor from Oxford, Coach Jonathan Miller at Piedmont, as the Piedmont Bulldogs already off to an outstanding start, and also a feature on the visor returning to coaching when it comes to Coach Rush Probst, up, albeit in an interim basis, but still returning up at Coosa Christian. 10:40 to go until we reach the finish line. So 3rd down. Line to reach midfield, so we'll call that about 3rd and 7. As long for Moody from their perspective, if they don't turn the ball over, even up just a couple of scores, they probably feel as if they're in really good position to take this to the finish line victorious. Quick throw, hitch route far side, that's a completion. Initial catch made just shy of the first down by Sophie White. And I think the lunge forward on second effort able to move the sticks. And there's Alonzo Kirby spotting the football at midfield. And so a fresh set of downs says now at the 40 at midfield, Moody needs to get to the 20 for the first down. Serenity Rutledge, a rock-solid game at quarterback, as she winds up and goes downfield, and nobody there, as going into the end zone, and a touchdown for Moody as the second touchdown reception for Zoe Terry. I'll take another look, and absolutely no one in the area code for Zoe Terry, as she gets behind the Boaz defense asleep that time at the wheel. And so Moody now atop 18-0. They can either go for 1 from the 3 or can move it back to the 10 and go for an extra point to make it a 2-point conversion try. Moody so far unsuccessful in their first two conversion tries. Here's Hockman as she'll toss, and that's knocked away and incomplete. So the 2-point conversion try no good, as your score now 18-0 in favor of Moody. 9:34 to go in the ball game here on FNN.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Another touchdown reception on the part of Zoe Terry is actually Kennedy Hockman with the touchdown pass, her first of the night for Moody. As the Blue Devils up 18-0, and just about desperation time for Boaz. There's the roll and throw down the field, and that is swatted away and incomplete. Abby Gray on the deflection, as here you see top-ranked Moody on top 18-0, as they've had an impressive defensive showing so far tonight. They have bottled up Boaz offensively from the start. And the clock on the move unless we get to the 2-minute mark, or unless there's a change of possession. There's the throw over the middle, and that's a tad high and incomplete, intended for Carpenter. So third down, as the line to reach is the 20 for the first down. Have to pay really close attention as far as that yard markers, the orange yard markers across the way. That's from my vantage point at the 20 where that down marker is. Of course, our game being played on the primary varsity football field, as the catch made. A very nice job of concentration by Manders. Or check that, Underwood, I beg your pardon, on the reception, as that'll get to the 20 and a first down for Boaz. L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium here on the campus of Boaz. So a first down, but time of the essence for the Pirates. They need 3 scores, and 3 scores in a hurry. Here's Hall, a quick throw, and that is intercepted. Great recognition as a couple of flags come in. As on the pick is Kennedy Hockman, but let's see who gets called for the flag. And a couple of officials, including Alonzo Kirby, that dropped the flag on the field. I think it was Alonzo as well as the head referee. Now, if it goes on the defense, then Boaz obviously would be able to keep the drive alive. So they're sorting out at least who gets the call on the penalty, and it looks as if the penalty will go on Boaz. So the interception will stand.
Holding the call against Boaz.
As the call is holding, but the penalty declined. And so Moody a chance to basically put some icing on the cake, as he'll have a goal-to-go situation inside the 15. Here's the roll and the run for Hockman. She'll go toward the end zone, and she is in for the touchdown. So Kennedy Hockman calls her own number as Boaz at least now trails by 4 scores, as here you see Hockman, and they take it herself into the end zone, her second touchdown of the quarter. And for Moody, they have, we'll say, officially sealed it. Up 24-0, and so now a conversion try upcoming. Hockman quick throw, and that's knocked down and incomplete. A point after conversion, no good, as the score now up to Moody 24 And Boaz, nothing here on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle, like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP, or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Boaz with the ball, their first down and incompletion as Hall, the throwback pass, and that's knocked up in the air and incomplete. We've heard about Peyton Hall earlier tonight, and let's send it back down to the sideline for our own Shasta Jones and hear her discuss as far as some specifics on the outside receiver and free safety, the senior Lexi Bennett.
Lexi told me this week that she also plays softball, and she's already committed to play for Northeast Alabama in Rainsville after graduation. She told me she plays free safety. She's back there by herself, and she has to learn how to read anywhere from 4 to 7 people at the same time.
Pass interference to call against Moody.
And how to keep her eyes out on everybody and just get a better read on the ball and on defense so she can do her job and get those interceptions for her team. Lexi's biggest goal for her flag football team is to win the region. She said last year they made it to the 3rd round, so she wants to see them make it past there and, again, go deeper in the playoffs.
Thank you, Shasta, as a pass interference penalty gives Boaz a first down. As they get minimal yardage, in fact, actually lose yardage on their first down play, as they need to get to midfield to move the chains. But right now in the big picture, Moody, an outstanding defensive effort as they've pitched the shutout so far on the road. What would be their first shutout of the season. Hall pump fakes and now throws into traffic, and that's incomplete. Intended for Burke as the pass deflection by Abby Gray, the senior. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go until we reach the finish line for our first ever FNN High School Football Girls Flag Football presentation. I imagine we'll hear from what I bet should be a happy Coach Renmore following this ball game. Couple of scores here in the fourth quarter for Moody as Hall tosses and again into traffic, and just not much has worked so far for Boaz tonight as that pass falls incomplete. They've had a few short passes that have gotten them a handful of first downs, but really Moody has just had every sort of answer on defense for the Boaz offense tonight. So the clock runs under 5 minutes to go in the football contest. A fourth down. As on the snap, Hall fires downfield and over everybody. Incomplete. As first down and 10 now on the turnover on downs for Moody. Moody, just a spectacular job so far, especially defensively, as they are showing us tonight why they are the top-ranked team in Class 1A, 5A. They lost to Montgomery Catholic in the state championship game in 1A, 5A at Protective Stadium in Birmingham last year, and they're certainly looking as if that they could be and maybe probably headed for that same type of destination at least this year. Moody was able to defeat Boaz in the third round 35-13 last year. Here's Hockman as she'll keep herself. Get some yards as a second down coming up. 20-yard line, the line to reach for the first down. Just the fourth season for HSAA girls flag football as a varsity sport. And I imagine it'll just continue to grow from here. Will not be shocked if we're at another flag football event in our near future. Certainly stay tuned as far as our FNN social media outlets to see where we could go as far as our flag football future. And of course, we'll be back at Top of the River tomorrow in less than 24 hours. The FNN Coaches Show. Joe Medley, Jim Jacobs, yours truly, along with players and coaches from around our area. There's the toss, and that is complete to White. She's able to break out of the pack and go to the house. Or check that, Serenity Rutledge, I beg your pardon. She's able to race it in for the touchdown. 3:55 to go in the ball game as Hockman able to hook up with Serenity Rutledge as she lets everyone know, hey, I got to the end zone. Touchdown for the Blue Devils. And so Moody has exploded offensively here in the fourth quarter. A great crowd tonight here at the campus of Boaz High, L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium, for a matchup between number 1 and number 3. A disappointing night for the home fans, though. 1-point conversion try on the way. Here's Hockman's tosses, and that's ripped into the hands of Zoe Terry. And so add 1 on the board for Moody as they now take a 31-0 lead coming down the final 4 minutes and change here on FNN.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Flag on the play on first down for Boaz offense as pass interference goes on the Moody Blue Devils. And that will provide a Pirates first down at their own 24-yard line. Really, the tone setter was the third play of the ball game for Moody. As there's pressure and a sack on Peyton Hall. Great hands that time by the pass rusher for Moody as Ellie Kate Williams able to come up with the flagpole and the sack. That 66-yard connection, or check that 56-yard connection from Serenity Rutledge to Zoe Terry got Boaz behind early, and it was, at least as far as the tone of the game, something that it appears the Pirates haven't really been able to recover from. A completion back to the 20-yard line. So the line to reach his midfield at the 40 for the first down. Under 3 to go in the ball game. We do have the 2-minute timeout coming up. There's a deep snap coming up. It's Hall on the roll and the throw, and that's complete to number 13, Raina Underwood, as she was stopped immediately on a good flag pull by Kinley Harvard. A bit more manageable on fourth down, as they still need the 40, does Boaz. Fourth down. A deep snap coming up as Hall under pressure and now tosses, and there's the hook and ladder complete. And able to move it upfield is Mitchell, but she stopped about 3 yards shy of the first down as we come to the 2-minute timeout and also the change of possession. And I'll tell you what, an impressive showing for Moody tonight. We saw Moody's football team a little bit sloppy as far as their performance at Jacksonville, but showing why they were the number 2 team in the state of Alabama. Timeout on the field. We'll take the timeout with them with 2 minutes to go, and Moody on top.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
The dead end point with a 30-point advantage for Moody. So that triggers the victory at the 2-minute stoppage in play. So the final score for tonight is Moody able to dominate Boaz 31-0. As we're trying to catch up to Coach Wren Moore. As Shasta Jones making her way to at least have a conversation, not only with Coach Moore, but I think maybe one of the Moody star players tonight. A great job by all of our F&N crew tonight. As let's go ahead and send it down to our own Shasta Jones with the winning head coach.
Game went for you guys.
It went good. It went the way that we had planned. We got on the ball early, and we shut out on defense. So defense wins games, and that's, I think, what carried us through this.
I mean, you shut out the whole game on every side. Anything that could go absolutely right for you guys did. What do you want to see worked on and improved upon between now and your next game?
We just got to get offensive plays down. Certain plays that normally go the right way for us didn't go the right way for us, so that's just something we got to work on.
Okay, well, we're going to let you get back to your huddle. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And we're going to catch up with some of the players here. Let's start with, have I got Hockman? Yeah, let's go with you. Interception, touchdown runs in the end zone. Tell me how this game went for you tonight and what worked for you.
I just came back from PT. I strained my groin, and I just was focused coming into it. I knew I wanted to play, and I got the job done.
How did it feel with some of those girls on your face?
Harsh, but I stayed calm through the chaos. I prayed for it before the game.
Awesome. Well, we thank you so much. And now we're going to move on to Rutledge.
Thank you.
Rutledge, you were killing it out there. So many passes, interception on top of that, and then a touchdown of your own. Tell me what was going right for you tonight, and what do you need to see improved on in the next week before the next game?
It was our defense. My team kept us uplifted. We got to stay working. Someone's always coming after us.
Do you ever get a break?
Oh, yeah. We get a break from time to time.
And what is some of the main things you see yourself working on during the week so that you can keep up your stamina and strength?
Footwork, I'll say accuracy. I got to run. I got to stay active.
Okay. And what teams are you thinking you're going to run into down the road that you may need to be getting ready for?
What teams?
Yeah.
Everybody. Montgomery Catholic especially. Winona. Everybody.
Is there one in specific you really want to get that win from?
Montgomery Catholic. They got us in the state championship. We got to get back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and let's go ahead and move on to Terry, right? How did that feel tonight? Touchdown, interception. You're a senior. Tell me about it.
It felt good. I love catching those long balls, running down the field. It's kind of the best feeling to have. Yeah.
What do you want to do after graduation?
I'm going to a 2-year school for a JUCO for softball, and then I plan to moving to a 4-year to work on my education.
All right. And what about you? As the senior, is there a game that you just really want to take this year out of all of them?
Central Phoenix City. They won 7A last year, and I really want to compete against them. Even if we don't win, they will definitely help us get better, but I definitely would like to win that game.
Awesome. We thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of your games this season.
Thank you, too. Thank y'all for coming.
And we're going to send it back to you in the booth up there, Hardy.
Thank you very much, Shasta. A job well done
Thank y'all.
by Shasta
Y'all
and
have a
our
good one. Thank you for taking
FNN
your
crew
time.
as Boaz falls tonight for the first time this season, 31-0 to Moody, the top-ranked team in Class 1A, 5A. Moody will take on at least Prattville and Enterprise down in Prattville next Tuesday for a tri-team matchup. And then for Boaz, they will at least go a short trip down Highway 431 to take on Gadsden City later on this week on Thursday. So that'll do it for us here at Boaz, as a job well done by our FNN crew. Our very first flag football telecast in the books here at Boaz, as Moody able to defeat and pitch their first shutout of the season over Boaz 31-0. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have our FNN Coaches Show from Top of the River in Anniston, where we'll award our third FNN Player of the Week tomorrow night. And also Friday night, our Game of the Week featuring Anniston and Alexandria. And there you see all of our folks that helped make tonight's game possible. So for our FNN crew, including Shasta Jones on the sideline and Jim Jacobs up here in the booth, James Hardy wishing you a good Monday evening as you've been watching FNN and our coverage of high school girls flag football.